And a high fly ball, center field. He hit it a ton. It's gone. And this one belongs to the Reds.
And now it's time for another edition of Reds That Fly.
Hello, we're here finally live after some technical glitches. I'm your host, B. Willie, and with me always is Mr. Brian Eckenbauer.
Hey, what's up, what's up?
We are live, and we are out there on the internet, so just bear with us as we get through some of these technical glitches. That's our first real live show, so...
Yeah. New steps.
Baby steps. I'm sailing, Bob. Keep sailing. For those of you who know that reference, you're awesome. Anyway, so we've had our first 3 games of the season, Brian. How you feeling?
First 3 games of the season are done and under our belt. Optimistic. Really like what the starters are done.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much what the bullpen has done. Our 2 biggest concerns that we had on our preview for the season have turned out to be non-issues at all. Votto's leading the team in batting average and home runs, and Bauer blew socks off today.
Yeah.
But what about Suarez? No hits.
Nothing. 0 goose egg.
No hits.
We'll talk
Through
about
3.
that. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. It's disappointing. I think from Suarez because we expect better, right? I mean, he's the man who led in home runs for the record for a Venezuelan player last year.
Yeah, most runs by a third baseman too.
And he's always a contributor, but so far Detroit seems to have his number for whatever reason. Maybe it's just a slow start. I will say that it seems so far the pitchers may be ahead of the hitters at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree. It does well, and they talked about it on the games. It's more so because the pitchers could go out and practice,
mm-hmm.
right? And they could throw however fast they wanted, as long as they had somebody to catch.
Yeah.
Hitters didn't have that opportunity, being quarantined.
Yeah.
So the hitters are, they're behind a little bit, but
shouldn't be that
not that far behind.
But it is only 3 games, so let's so we're 1-3 after 3 games. Obviously disappointing because really we were hoping for the sweep, obviously, because we know we could beat this team. I was expecting at least 2 out of 3. However, these were hard-fought games. They were in every game, pretty much up to the 9th inning in all of them. There was at least a chance for us to win each game.
Oh, yeah, they haven't lost any game by more than 2 runs, right?
Yeah, 2 runs is the most, and they've been close. And I think really right now it's the back end of the bullpen seems to be the issue, maybe.
At least 3 members of the bullpen, 2 of them that we were kind of counting on, Iglesias and Lorenzen, but
right.
Just to put it in perspective so far, no team in baseball is undefeated.
That's true. That's a good point.
So it's not like we're falling that far behind. The Cardinals lead the division; they're 2-1,
mm-hmm.
and then there's a 3-way tie for second.
Actually,
right?
I think so. And we should also point out there's been a change they made a change to the playoffs. I didn't put it in the notes, but I should have.
Right before they started the season.
Yeah, so now it's the first 2 teams in each division make the playoffs, plus 2 wild cards. So that's 8 teams from each division for a total of 16.
Yeah. From each league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
basically it's top 8.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the top 8 now, and then it's like 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, like a normal playoff would be.
Yeah. So no more bye week or bye.
Yeah, no more off week.
Off week, so to speak, which I like better anyway. Honestly, I like everybody to play every week of the playoff. Situation.
And hey, Terry, how's it going?
Hey,
watching with us.
Hey, Terry, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, sir. Appreciate it. So let's talk about. So let's go in. Let's take a little closer look at the starting rotation there. So what we got here is Sonny Gray went 6 innings, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts with a 1.50 ERA. Luis came in with that 6 innings, 1 earned run, 11 Ks, 1.50 ERA, and then Bauer 6.1 innings, 1 earned run, 13 strikeouts, and a 1.42 ERA.
Yeah, like
Outstanding.
Yeah, Bauer was one off of his career high.
Yeah.
For his strikeouts, and Bauer talked about on his YouTube channel, couple things I wanted to bring up. He had said that these three had a competition. They said
really?
they're in a competition
With each other.
On who can go out and do the best. Another thing is, I don't know if you guys follow him on YouTube, but Bauer is giving away game use cleats every week.
Is he really?
For every game he
Oh,
pitches.
That's cool.
The ones this week were really, really cool. So the underneath was the Big Red machine.
No kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the tongue said 513. They were white cleats with the red striping on the sides,
Yeah.
and then across the back was the Mr. Red Leg the mustache.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any of that.
Oh yeah,
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Him and Nike worked on a bunch of different ones they're going to use for the year.
For the year.
But he's going to wear them in the game, get him game authenticated.
And sign them.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to sign them or not. He didn't mention. So I would assume he would sign it.
Yeah.
And then he's going to pick a winner
Each week.
each week. If you buy something from his store.
Okay.
So he's got a bunch of reds, like him and his red stuff.
I saw his King shirt he was wearing today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of them. He's got his line, his clothing line is called Bauer Outage.
Bauer outage.
And I almost bought the one shirt. Since my last name's Ankenbauer.
Right.
But it says Bauer
On it.
right across the front. I was just right, Anken, right in front of
Put
it.
it- yeah, like a tape and write it on.
Anken, so it's Ankenbauer. But yeah, so good kudos to them to make the season even that more entertaining. To see these guys playing this way though gives me high hopes, especially if Bell can pull his head out of his ass and probably maybe leave him in longer.
Well,
You got these guys cruising, and you're pulling them out. I know what his thought process is. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to waste them.
Right.
You have your bullpen guys for a reason.
right.
But
That's what I was gonna say.
but on the same token, you guys they're cruising. Obviously, look at their strikeout
At
totals.
least let him finish the inning. Maybe,
Yeah,
or
like finish.
something.
If you're gonna put them out there, let them finish an inning,
Yeah.
or let them go 7, and then you have your setup guy and your closer.
Yeah.
But even your closer right now is not very reliable.
No, we'll get to that here in a minute. But one more quick stat, and this came from the Reds Twitter. They said these three guys set an MLB record, believe it or not, for the first time. Well, a Reds record, I guess, for the first time since 1893, when the pitcher's mound was moved to its current distance from home plate. Reds pitchers have begun the season with at least 10 strikeouts in each of the first 3 games. So he had 13, 17, and 13.
Yep.
That's busting records, going crazy.
Yeah, just goes to show you that the strikeouts, like the pitchers are ahead of the batters.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Reds being slow.
No.
It's all around baseball.
No, if anything, I've noticed that the Reds pitchers are overly aggressive, in my opinion, in some cases, which isn't a bad thing necessarily for this format that we're playing, the 60 games.
Yeah.
But I think that might be part of. We'll get to the bullpen when we talk about that. Here's the overall stats for the entire pitching staff, I guess, so far. And as you guys can see. Mr. Bauer up there at the top of the charts, and then Sonny, and then Luis.
Yeah, that's their average per 9 innings.
Right. So doing well. Lorenzen, obviously, he's caused us the 2 losses. If you got to assign blame, well, there you go. Unfortunately.
Yep.
Again,
and it wasn't, and it's not like it was like completely. He just couldn't pitch. He just had a couple pitches that were just. They just were very misplaced. He had a changeup that he threw, and it kind of fell right over the plate for Miguel Cabrera, and he hit that 2-run home run, and that's how they ended up winning that game. And then I don't remember the one he had today, but it's just they're just misplaced.
Yep.
He's touching the corners, he's doing everything he needs to, and then he has that one pitch, and they just happen to turn on it, and it's like
well, it's
kind of bad luck for him.
It's bad luck, and I also think it's he's throwing over. He's hitting the century mark.
Oh yeah,
a lot, and
well, I would hope so.
I think he's losing. I think he's losing a little bit of control because he's throwing a lot harder than he did last year. I don't remember him throwing over 100 that often, if at all.
Well,
last year.
he could, but I think a lot of the things that happened is how much he's bulked up, and And when you bulk up like that, it doesn't necessarily mean
You're better control.
you're better control.
Well,
Yeah. So maybe he's working around trying to work through the extra muscle that he has.
Yeah, so maybe drop it down maybe 5 miles an hour, see if you can't get the control back, and then work on your speed after that. I don't know. My bigger concern is the closer, Iglesias, Raisel Iglesias. He looked horrible. I don't know how else to put it.
He looked like two different pitchers again. We had mentioned it in our preseason
Special,
yeah. It's like he goes out there and he's like, I'm the closer. He gets tagged for something, and then he comes back pissed off, and then he pitches really good. He did that in the game against the Tigers, where he gave up the first guy who gave a home run and then struck out the side.
Right, because he got mad.
And he's doing the same thing. He's doing close to the same thing starting the season. If you look, his average strikeouts per 9 innings is up at 18, which is up near all the starters.
Right.
But look at his ERA is 18 because he's given up
the home run.
Yeah,
that's what it was last. It's the same problem he had last year.
What's up, Ted?
Teddy?
Teddy Records.
Oh, Teddy. What's up, buddy? Hey, so I don't know. He drives me nuts. He drove me nuts. He's drove me nuts the last 2 seasons. And they said he who was he talking to on the staff? Was it Strop, I think, or Strop? That was apparently, was talking to him, and he was supposedly getting better, and that he wasn't going to be the same way.
Right.
But so far, all I've seen is last year. So far, again, it's a small sampling. It's only 3 games. Let's hope he finds a way to turn it around and go from there. Let's move on. By the way, look at our local boy who I'm rooting for this year, Nate Jones. So far, he has 0 ERA. He's doing really well in every time they put him in there. So.
Yeah, but both the guys who were the late additions to the roster, Raleigh and Jones, both have looked nice in their. And he's got that weird. Jones does
delivery. It's like he stops motion or something. Yeah,
that's really weird.
It is
look at the
strange.
wrist.
Then the only thing I guess we can talk about, Sims look good, and then the only other thing is Stevenson. I think he only got he got 1 person out, and I think that's why his ERA is 54.
I don't
Gave
know
up a run.
Yeah, I don't even know if he got anybody out.
Same story there, I guess. I don't know. There's a guy that we had high hopes for, continue to have high hopes for, I guess, and maybe not so much now. I don't know.
My guess is those pitchers will get 1 more series to see if they
can.
And then if not, they're probably he might yank
make
them.
some changes. Well, you're going to have to. I mean, with this 60-game format, you don't have time to give anybody that long leash like you might give somebody 2 weeks in the normal season, right?
Right.
So, but let's move on. So let's talk about the offense. So here's your leaders. Joey Votto hitting .385. He's got 2 home runs in 3 games, and Mr. Moustakas has 4 RBIs from his breakout performance.
Yeah, I tell you what, Votto has definitely proven the critics wrong with his slow starts. And maybe it's just the months of April and May where he's just trying to catch up, because he has come out of the box swinging.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, his batting average should probably be above 400. Several of his outs have been like
bad luck
shots. Yeah, like just shots down the line, like first base line that should have been hits, where the first baseman just dove and happened to snag it, and then 2 of them were like line drives into the outfield. I mean, like he's seeing the ball very well.
He's seeing the ball really well, and I think he's even, when he's not getting pitches to hit, he's trying to place the ball. It's like that bloop he had to tie up the game today. It looked to me like that's exactly where he wanted to hit the ball, was right in that gap, and he hit it, and he got it. Then he tried to do the same thing at the end of the game.
It didn't work out so well.
Yep. It ended up, because instead of hitting the end of his bat, it hit the middle of his bat and turned into a ground around double play and double play. But you can tell there's a guy who is trying. There's a guy who is not only doing his job, but he's trying to take situations where he's getting, let's just call it what it is, chicken shit, trying to turn chicken salad, he's trying to be the hero. He's trying to be the one in the game. Let's move on to look at the entire team here, stat wise. So again, Votto at the top. We talked about it already. Suarez, nothing yet. Nick is paying off for us, batting 300. Galvis, he's had a home run already, and
Yep.
he's looking really good so far.
Yep.
Casale should have it seems like he should have a higher average. It just seems like every time I watch that guy bat, he seems to get on base, but I guess that's not the case.
No.
It's,
He does have a home run.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
But he does-
But it's only a 3-game sample, so it's
Yeah.
kinda,
Yeah. A lot of
All
this
these-
stuff's skewed.
all this stuff is going to be skewed. Winker, well, give it time. I think a lot of this is just give it time. But the Punisher's back. He was in the game today.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was
they-
a contributing
Well,
factor.
they pulled him up because they sent Moustakas onto the IL.
LL. Yeah, we'll talk about roster moves and we'll talk about that. See if the Reds are pulling a fast one or or something. Another disappointing guy, and he wasn't in the lineup today, and we'll talk about that later. But is Senzel? Nothing yet. I thought Nick would hit at least something by now.
Some of his have also been bad luck, placement-wise with the ball. I watched a couple of his shots. He's had a couple of them to the warning track, and he's had a couple of them that the outfield have made a running catch.
Hey, Detroit was definitely playing the defensive line.
Yeah.
They were definitely looking.
Yeah.
I saw the guys pull out the cards. And
Yeah, and
you know.
it's just one of those. A lot of teams are playing those stats now where they're paying the shifts, and these guys need to learn how to hit away from their tendencies in order to get these hits, because he's hitting right into the shift.
Yeah,
He's making contact. It's not like he's striking out. So
right.
hopefully things will turn around real fast.
Yeah, and I think that's the overall theme too. Is there's a lot of optimism despite our record. I think so far. I think that's the key going forward. All right, so let's take a look at the division real quick here. So right now you got a 2-way tie. You got St. Louis 2-1. Cubbies are 2-1. We're at 1-2, along with Pittsburgh and Milwaukee after 3. So that after about 3 games, that's about what you expect, kind of a split. But at least there's nobody at 3-0. Like we said, we're not 2 games behind. We're only a game behind. So it could be worse. I mean, it really could. So that definitely plays into our advantage, I think.
I mean, it just goes to show you that that's what they thought at the beginning of the season, was that our division was going to be decided by a game.
Yeah. There you go.
Of course, the whole league is one game.
One
apart.
game apart.
But
Again, the expanded playoffs, things could look, you could possibly have, maybe if we don't beat each other up too bad.
yeah, we could possibly
if we
have 4 of our teams in.
It's theoretically possible, I think. I had to look at the math on that one. So, we got somebody chiming in?
No, that was John
Oh,
sending a text message about something completely different.
our 4 Midwest guy. One of our compadres. Oh, wrong graphic. Getting ahead of myself there on that one. All right, let's go into roster moves real quick, because there are a couple, especially since we've been off the air with you last Sunday. The first is the Reds did instead they designated him and then they traded him. So Mr. Schebler actually got traded to Atlanta. Did we ever hear what we got back? I never did see anything. I guess maybe it might be a player to be named or something like that.
It's probably either player to be named or cash.
Cash or something like that. But we wish the best. I wish the best to Scott, except for when he's playing the Reds, obviously. So, all right. So let's talk about this. So the Reds announced that they've placed Moustakas. He's on the injured list now because he came in not feeling so well. In the words of David Bell, and I guess under the new rules that we play under, if a player is not feeling well or saying that they're not feeling well, then they can be placed, I guess, on the DL. Is basically what it's saying. Absence of a positive test, even if it's absence of a positive test. So that's what they're saying there. Now, when that happened, we also saw them pick up somebody off waivers. They picked up infielder Raul Garcia off Robel Garcia off waivers from the Cubs. Brian, do you think? I'm not saying that he. I want it to be true that Moustakas might be. I feel sick, but they might be playing hooky here, or to make this transaction happen, maybe. Or do you think he's really sick?
No, because you can't pull a player on and off the injured list day to day.
I know you can't day to day,
so
it'd be too much of a hit.
Yeah, it may be too much.
I've
of a
heard
hit.
some people online. That's why I'm bringing this up. By the way.
No, I think it'd be too much of a hit to take him out if he's just going to be out for one game playing hooky or whatnot.
Right.
I think it's I think it's a precautionary before he tests positive, or he just feels like he has the flu. Mm-hmm. What's up, Mr. Kaiser?
JK.
From Asheville, North Carolina. In an Airbnb.
Telling you, man.
Living the life.
Airbnb. Damn. Dude. I hate to...
But yeah, I think it's legit. But I do think it kind of played in their hands to pick up Garcia from the Cubs.
Yeah, I did too. I was just like, ooh, that's kind of a coincidence. And I'm playing devil's advocate here because I did see a couple people on Twitter kind of bring it up, like, oh, this is what they're doing, and he's not really sick. Actually, and to be honest, just to back that up, I was watching the post game, and I watched Bell's. They did the post-game interview, and Bell seemed really nervous about it when they brought it up.
Well, yeah,
because Sincel was the same thing, but they haven't put him on the injured reserve yet.
Right. Well, but you got to think it's the how many of the players came into contact with Davidson, and is this going to be a fast, increase of players that are going to go down real fast because they were all in contact with Davidson.
Really?
With Corona.
Yeah. I tell you, like I said, this is gonna be the wild card the whole season long, man. You imagine we get down to the nitty gritty, and this, we half the team gets wiped out, or even a couple of the crucial guys, get wiped out.
I think Bell was more concerned for the fact that it was Moustakas is they're one of their big acquisitions. The 4 years, so much money.
Oh yeah,
and to lose them for any part of this season is not going to be good.
Oh no, yeah, and I think it impacted today's game. I think. Not having Moose in the lineup today probably, might have been different. It's a 3-2 game, right? I mean, he's a big difference in the lineup. So, all right. So let's move on to. That's it for looking back at the 3 games. Let's move ahead and let's look at the next series versus the Cubs. So we got the next 4 coming up.
Let's look ahead.
So let's go to the Cubbies and the Reds here. So first game up. Tomorrow's game, you've got John Lester, who was their number 1 starter last year, is now their number 4, and he's going to go up against Wade Miley, who was the Reds' number 5, but because of Disco going down for injury.
Starting on the DL?
Starting on the DL. I think it was just a 10-day. I think he's only supposed to miss 1 start, they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they did is they moved Wade Miley up, and then Tyler Mahle will be the 5th guy. So
right. Which is another guy who we had starting last year. So we had 2 or 3 guys in our bullpen that could step right in to take over as a starter. So
starter right
we're
away.
not going to hurt too bad.
Yeah, you got Sims, you got Robertson, you got all those guys. But what do you think about this matchup, Lester versus Wade Miley? I think it's pretty evenly matched. Maybe slight edge to Lester.
Yeah, I would say this
experience.
Yeah, I would say slight edge to Lester, but Miley had a pretty good season last year, and I'm hoping that he can bring that back around. We can have some more of that positivity come the Reds' direction.
Good for that. All right, and then that brings us up to it. And this is kind of an interesting matchup to me because this is basically replacement versus replacement here when we get to Tuesday's game. So you got Alex Mills. He's in. I can't remember the guy's name. Went down for the Cubs pitcher now. Anyway, he's basically in the lineup because he went down. And then obviously it's going to be Tyler Mahle on Tuesday for us as our number 5 guy. So it's number 5 versus number 5 by default.
Yeah, number 5B.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I don't know much about the Alex Mills. He had a 2-point-something ERA last year, I think, but he only had 4 starts. So it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to any of his starts.
Yeah, so it's kind of a toss-up. I think this one could go if you're looking at just purely on pitching perspective. I think Tyler has got a lot of upside. He throws really hard. I think Tyler's problem has always been control.
Yep.
So
I think this is going to be a game where Bell's philosophy is going to play to our hand because as soon as Mahle does have the issue, he's going to pull him. Whereas in the past, Mahle had that one game where he pitched 6 great innings and then blew up in the 7th.
Yeah.
And if he had pulled him, we would have won the game. But he waited too long, and I think we're gonna run into good problems, if you will.
Good problems
with Bell's new philosophy with pulling the pitcher after 6 innings. If he continues that with Mahle.
Okay, there you go. So good analysis. So, but I think the other thing, a good point with these next two games is where we've had our outstanding pitching is now we're going to need the offense to step up here because they're batting like 238, I think. If we go back to that graphic, I think the team total is only batting like 2.
Is it that low?
Yeah, it's low because of all the guys that got goose eggs right now, or
okay.
have Winker's only batting like a $1.25. You know what? Let's switch back real quick.
Yeah, go back to that.
Give me a minute to pull this up. We're live.
Yeah, go back to that.
Offensive stats. Yeah, it's
238.
238 is a team.
Oh, it's the on base average I was looking at.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah. So we're definitely going to need this to improve for the next two games going forward.
Oh, I agree.
I mean that this is unacceptable as far as I'm concerned.
To be honest, I'm looking at this and whenever we've been looking at our roster and I look at the going to games and watching it up on the jumbotron, and you always look at the other team and they always have several people batting over 300, and everybody else is batting in the 2s, and the Reds are always they have one guy that's batting over 300,
and everybody else
is in like the 1s or lower.
Yeah.
And you look at these going down the list, and we got some decent guys batting 500, 300, 385.
Again, small sampling, 3 games, but still,
it's promising.
Yeah, for long term.
For long term, you're like, oh, okay, well that's good. There's people that aren't batting the 275 loop,
or the I-75.
Yeah, or I-75.
Yeah, who was that? That was a catcher we had
for
a while. I can't remember his name now.
Mesoraca was batting 122 for a long time.
The guy before him, he used to wear the green. He was big into John Deere. I can't remember his name. Help us out, guys, if you remember that catcher. All right, so let's move on to what's going to be the marquee matchup of the series, which is going to be Kyle Hendricks, their number 1 against our number 1, Sonny Gray. Pretty even. I mean, they both had 9 strikeouts. Sonny gave up a run. Hendricks didn't. Hendricks looked lights out just as much as Sonny did.
No, I think actually Hendricks has if Hendricks pitches the way he pitched. Did you watch that game?
I didn't watch it, but I heard about it.
Dude, he pitched did he pitch the complete game?
I don't think he got the complete game.
He was darn close to the whole game. I know he went into the 8th.
Yeah.
And his stuff was just sick.
Lights out.
Yeah, it was sick. Like Sonny Gray pitched out of several
jams.
Just like not as many as Castillo did, but he pitched out of some jams. But Hendricks, man, he was dealing.
Yeah.
And it was pretty impressive to watch because you're just in there watching. You're like, yeah, they're playing the Brewers, but the Brewers got some pop on their lineup, and they were just going down like nothing.
They're just taking them out. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we'll pick up the win here, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I think it'll be the best game of the series. I really do. And let's hope it's a win because we really the worst we can do against the Cubs, in my opinion, is split, just to keep us right where we're at now. So that's kind of how I look at it. All right, so and then the last game of the 4-game series. This will be a good one too. This will be Darvish versus Luis Castillo. I advantage obviously Castillo here, but I don't know. I think this would probably be a good match. I think Darvish is either one or the other. He's great or he's not.
Well, I mean, Darvish is coming off injury.
Yeah, that too.
So I think he's coming back. Obviously, he's not going to be to his regular form until he gets more live hitting in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they waited on him.
I think he gave up, what was it, like 3 or 4 runs in his life? I think he's got a 6.75, so I have to go back and look.
Yes, I mean he didn't do horrible in his matchup.
Yeah.
And I think he'll get progressively better as the season goes on. And I think that the Reds could sneak this one in and take this one.
Yeah.
From one of the Cubs' better pitchers.
Yeah. So what's your predictions then for the series? What do you think?
I'm hoping obviously I always want to take the series. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
Oh, sure.
Right?
But a 4-game sweep is
4-game sweep would be awesome.
Would be awesome, but that's
I would say optimistically 3 out of 4, realistically probably split.
Yeah. I think realistically split, but I'm also, I mean, I'll take the sweep. Don't get me wrong. That's amazing. That's what everybody wants. But yeah, I think I'll get rid of that graphic. But yeah, I think a split would probably what will happen, which would keep us in the race.
Mm-hmm.
Anything less than a split, however, would be would be difficult.
Right.
And I think that's putting it lightly. I don't know if you got anything else you want to say about that or about the matchups or anything before
No.
we move on. All right. So let's just talk about the. What's your concerns after watching this first series and the Cubbies coming up and everything?
Obviously our batting, specifically the trio of Suarez, Senzel, and Van Meter.
Winker too.
Well,
I know he's coming off the bench, but
I don't think Winker is. He did last year. I didn't think he played as well as everybody claimed that he did. I really thought Irvin would be in there way more than Winker.
Yeah. There's another guy. I don't think I have to go back and look.
But Irvin played good in his first. He played the first game.
Yeah.
And he played all right.
He actually got goose eggs too,
but he got walks.
He got walks.
Yeah. See, his on base percentage is .333.
Yeah.
So he got on.
He did get on. Yeah.
I don't know. I just that and that back end of the bullpen.
The back end of the bullpen is my concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be my concerns.
I think it's an easy fix though.
It's hard to have major concerns at going 3 games into the season, but
yeah,
there's only 57 left.
That's true. That's very true. It's going to go by quick. You may think 57's a lot, but heck, it's only 2 months, and then baseball's over, or at least the regular season is anyway.
Yep.
So a lot to digest going forward. A lot to look forward to. And then, by the way, after we have the Cubs, we get back to Detroit. So
yeah, we're headed to Detroit.
For
how many games?
3 games.
3 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll bring us back to next Sunday. When
I hope with that, I hope we get to, when we go to Detroit, that we get to show them the same courtesy they showed us here. And just repay the favor.
There might be a little bit of
repay the favor.
A little bit of payback. That's the other thing about being down 1-3, and after losing today's game is I'm hoping going into against the Cubs that there's a little bit of a pressure cooker with the Reds and the need to, especially by Suarez and those guys that haven't yet produced to lay it on the Cubs and take it out on the Cubs, so to speak.
Right.
And I don't know. I hopefully Bell learns to manage it better. I'm not going to put too much on him yet. It was really early. I know there's some people that are already crying. He's doing it again. And to their credit, he did last year. He did pull a lot of guys early. But I think in this format, you kind of have to, don't you think, Brian? I mean,
well, some people say it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And it's all a gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's all a gut feeling. That's what baseball is. It's do you have it? Do you feel it in your gut that this guy's going to be able to go out there and get 3 or more outs, or do you're like, I'm take my 6 solid and go with my bullpen of 9 guys? Can my 9 guys take care of these last 3 innings?
Yeah.
And so far, we're not seeing the results that we want to see.
Yeah, we've seen it out of a few guys. Seen it. Garrett's done his job. Nate's done his job.
Strope done his job.
Strope's done his job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that closer situation, and like we were predicting, we were hoping closer by committee, but it seems like right now, at least for the moment, it's Iglesias' job. It would seem.
Well, we kind of knew it was going to be his job to lose.
Yeah.
Just because that's the way Bell's been.
Right.
But hopefully,
it works itself out.
Everything will work itself out.
By the way, tip of the cap to Mr. Bauer. My concern from the season preview. I'll just say great so far and keep it up. He proved me wrong today. That's for damn sure. Lights out for sure. So, all right, Brian. Well, that pretty much covers this week. So,
yep.
And then the next week, and then let's go Reds, and let's take it to the Cubbies. Damn it.
Yeah.
And finally, we'll have.
And where can everybody find us on social media? There.
Oh shit! You know what? I am. See, we're live. I get nervous, man. I get live. I go crazy. All right. Where can you find us on social media? The best place to go is actually www.4midwestguys.com. There you got links to everything on there. All of our podcasts are there and linked in order. There's links to each and individual show. I will be adding Reds Net Live to the top of the links as well. If if you just want to watch that one particular podcast. But we have done a ton of other podcasts over the years. So you can check all that out again at www.the4midwestguys.com. You can find us on Facebook.com/the4midwestguys. Twitter at @4midwestguys. Brian, where can they find you out there on Twitter and Stardust?
They can find me at Angzone.
You can find myself on Twitter and Stardust at bwillie1977. If you like the behind-the-scenes kind of stuff, we post pictures and things of that nature, and that's on Instagram at the4_Midwest_guys. You can reach out to us old-fashioned email with the 4midwestguys@gmail.com. And a new thing we got kicking is the fan voicemail line. So we didn't get any response last week on the preview show because this is a new show, and so we're going to throw it back out again. We like to call it the fan pulse. So kind of taking your guys' what questions or what do you guys think? So what will the Reds record be at the end of the season? We'll throw it back out there again this week. And again, what will the Reds record be at the end of the season? We already know they're 1-3, so you're a little bit of cheating on this one. But if you got an answer that you want to leave us, you can leave us a voicemail at 1-859-363-5952. Again, that's 1-859-363-5952. You'll hear my lovely voice come on. Just leave your name, where you're from, and your answer to the question. And if we like it, we'll put it on air. I'm also,
or if you have questions for us,
Yeah.
leave them in the same spot. Just make sure that you're letting us know it's for the Red Show and not one of the other ones.
Yep.
And definitely, if you leave a semi-professional email or voicemail and you don't leave a whole bunch of cussing on it, we might be able to put you on the air for our next show.
That's right. And I am working on a way to take live calls during the show, so hopefully we'll have that shortly. But I'm still looking into that. Obviously, this takes time to throw all this stuff together and get us live on multiple streaming accounts. So, but that's all I've got. Brian, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right.
Just thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks to Terry, Ted, and Kaiser. Thanks for watching.
Nice from hearing from you guys. Tune in next week. Hopefully we're gonna be at 8:00 next time. Hopefully we got some of these technical glitches worked out. We're gonna aim for Sundays at 8:00. So every Sunday at 8.
Yep. So spend your Sunday evenings with us.
We'll take a
Maybe next week we'll have beer.
that would be nice, actually. That's a good idea. I might calm my nerves because I can't even talk. And what we'll do is we'll recap the previous week and we'll look ahead to the next week, just kind of like we did today. So
Sounds good to me, man.
there you guys go. Until next time, guys, remember, go Reds.
Catch you next week, man.
Peace.